Fox Carolina First Alert Weather with meteorologist Bryan.
Welcome back, everyone. Looking ahead to the new work and school week, kicking it right off, as we've been mentioning, with a first alert weather day for tomorrow. This pertaining to dangerous levels of heat and humidity, even a bit hotter than what a lot of us dealt with those heat indices getting close to, if not a little bit above 100 degrees today. This will be for tomorrow between the hours of 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Coincides actually with a heat advisory that'll be in effect for most upstate and northeastern Georgia areas around that time. This is not going to be dangerous levels of heat for folks in the mountains, but it will still be a hot day. Certainly by those standards nonetheless. We're looking at heat indices in this, again, upstate northeastern Georgia areas tomorrow, getting between about 100 to as high as 107 degrees. There's that heat advisory. Does not currently include Greenville, Spartanburg, or Cherokee counties, but understand you'll still see the heat indices get into probably that 100 to 103 range, just not quite up to the 105 or above heat advisory criteria, but splitting hairs in some regards here. Just about everyone else along and south of I-85 and into northeastern Georgia will be dealing with that heat. And understand it's going to build quickly. Even by the time we hit mid-morning tomorrow, 10 o'clock, all across the upstate, into northeastern Georgia, even toward the Rutherfordton area, already seeing the real feel at that time, getting into the low and mid 90s. Fast forward to midday, we start to get into the 100 to 105 degree range in a lot of those spots as early as lunchtime, feeling like some low 90s in parts of the mountains too, reaching that peak, the worst of the heat, 102 to 107 degree heat indices around that time, 3 p.m. for areas, again, mainly around Greenville, onto the south, off toward the west, and then crashing back down pretty quickly in the afternoon. But the reason for that is because we're going to start to see scattered showers and thunderstorms develop, taking advantage of that heat and humidity. So with all that energy available, some of the storms tomorrow could be severe. It's a marginal, isolated risk for a lot of us here, severe weather-wise, from the Storm Prediction Center. But as you get closer to the Tennessee line and parts of North Carolina, that increases a little bit there in terms of the overall severe weather potential. Damaging winds, large hail, a possibility with some of these storms. Not worried about severe weather from these weakening showers, fortunately, that we have moving in around the Franklin and right up to the west side of Bryson City areas right now. Also moving into western Rabun County, west of Clayton. Might pick up a little bit of light rain out of these at this point, but they will tend to weaken as they continue off toward the east. Tomorrow's storms are going to be more centered on the energy that comes ahead of this presently stalled frontal boundary back across parts of Indiana, southern Ohio. That is going to start to get on the move, sinking closer to us tomorrow, but not quite clearing through the region. That will happen going into Tuesday and into Wednesday. And when it does, we are in for some major heat and humidity relief. We just got to get through these next 48 hours. As for the future track here, looking into the overnight period, showers or storms come to an end. Most of us waking up to mostly sunny skies for the morning drive tomorrow, but it will be very warm and humid as soon as you're stepping out the door. Very quickly heating up by midday, and that's when we start to see some of the first arriving showers or storms in parts of the mountains. Potential for those damaging winds, isolated large hail. That activity then starts to shift into the northern upstate, I-85 around Greenville, Spartanburg between about 3 to 6 o'clock. Then potential for some stronger storms to flare up and move southeast around that time. There could be some follow-up showers or storms that kind of come in and linger in parts of the area, mainly north or west of Greenville into tomorrow evening. But a lot of that is going to depend on exactly how much energy the first round uses up. Either way, though, make sure you're staying weather aware, and more importantly, make sure that you're staying cool and hydrated tomorrow. Remember, it is a first alert weather day for that heat upstate. High temp around 94, heat index 100 to 105, but then some relief. Still 92, a little humid on Tuesday. We drop to the 80s. Wednesday, Thursday, the humidity plummets. And actually some quiet weather Wednesday through Saturday, seeing mostly sunny skies and no chance for storms, at least by the way it looks right now. Isolated storms Monday, Tuesday in the mountains, highs in the 90s tomorrow, then a pleasant stretch of 80s taking over Tuesday through the start of the weekend.